Yes. That's it. You know, rather than watching each individual stroke, I just decided to finish that. Then what we do next is we have to find our brush. Because, oh yes, here it is. I have it here. No problem. No problem. So what we're going to do next is then we're going to start applying the light blue violet with this, you know, small square flat again. And we're going to come in, same idea, erratically again, with dabs of it. We're going to put some of it up here, okay? Coming in from the top right hand corner. Okay, coming in like this, just here and there, and you know, letting the light yellow and the magenta show through, where you left that lovely magenta shine through, okay? And you just follow my strokes as we go along with this. Then you thin out up here. You don't want, you just leave all the yellow, the yellowy white there, and you just sort of have a little border at the top, an erratic border, if you know what I mean. You don't want a straight line across there either, although I know some of you are really good at straight lines. You love them. Only joking. By the way, the lines that we put in with these pastels, you know, like when the whole painting is finished, then they all rub off with a damp cloth. So you know, you get the full vibrancy of the magenta then showing through, you know, where the lines are. Now, you see after coming across the top there, lovely, you know, hoppity hop everywhere. And what we do then is we come down a bit further, a bit closer, or a bit further away from the edge here. We didn't put much on this side. We want just a little more on this side, just so as it's not symmetrical, okay? To have a slight difference. Okay, and you can see some of them will overlap, which is grand. Maybe up towards the top they can overlap a little bit more, just to get a you know, perspective into the sky, where maybe it deepens into that blue. Okay, no problem. If you didn't mix enough, you can go back, pause and mix more. I didn't mix enough, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it go at that, because I think I've achieved the effect I was looking for with that. Because we want to leave this big area here again of the light yellow. Now I'm going to clean this brush, because immediately, we don't even have to dry that. We're going to move on to our, I have it here, don't I? Yeah, I mixed it already, yeah. I want to move on to our light blue permanent, okay? And there's white in it, the titanium white, just to lighten it up a bit, okay? So we have it here pre-mixed, okay? So what we're going to do is, same idea, not as many of these, just higgledy-piggledy, just follow me, you'll see a few on the left side of the canvas. These are just adding to, you know, giving a bit of movement and sparkle, and they hit off that lovely magenta in the background as well, all these colours, you know. On this side as well, on the right hand side, a few little dabs of it, not necessarily in the middle, just it fades out as you get towards the middle. A bit more down here, a bit more. If you find it's not standing out enough, you know, when you dry, just go over the marks you've already made, okay? You don't need a lot of marks, because you just want these colours. It's almost like pointillism, I suppose, in that sense. The colours will mix, each individual colour mix visually within your optical nerve, you know, to give the effect that it's a wonderful, you know, miasma of vibrancy. Now, I think there's actually enough there for the moment on that, as you can see, the different tones, but we're still letting that wonderful magenta beam through, shine through, okay? The next one, the sky, is the portrait pink, okay? A little bit of portrait pink, that's all. A bit of water, a little bit, not too much of the portrait pink. As you can see there, with the flat brush again. Okay, if it's too much on your brush, take it off. And what we're going to do is we just bring in a few dabs of it here and there. You just follow where I have it. You don't have to put it everywhere. You know, when people see a colour, they think, oh yeah, that goes in the sky. Okay, there. You come back half an hour later and it's all over the sky. You say, no, well, I just meant it to be there in the top right hand corner. Okay, so you can actually see me doing it, and I stopped then, and that's enough there. Okay, and there's actually enough up here as well. Okay, enough there, I think. Yeah, enough, definitely. And what happens is, if needs be, as I said, when you dry these areas, you just go over the pinks if they're not coming out strong enough for you. go over the exact strokes that you painted on already with the dabs, okay? You can see the way we're using the dabs again. Dabs here, sounds like dab, radial. But anyway, and that's enough there. Now we're going to go back to the white, okay? And our cadmium yellow deep. But we're going to make it slightly brighter than what it was, okay? You can see the way I'm mixing it here in front. Below is the original one that we used in the sky, but we're making it slightly brighter. And you know, can you see the way I'm not using a lot of paint? You don't need a lot of paint. It depends on what you're painting, but there's a lot of paint that's wasted as well. I mean, well, that goes part and parcel with art. So there is a huge amount. But I mean, in a situation where you can control it, you know, for a small canvas like this, there's no need to be squeezing out a whole tube of white or whatever, you know. Now we're just going to go with this area here, as if there's, you know, the sun or whatever is just behind the mountain here. And it's giving a little more brightness to this part of the sky. And the same idea, you're doing your flat strokes, higgledy-piggledy here and there, just to get that, and then they fade off into the distance as you move up, okay? Fade off into the distance like that. Now, I can see now that it needs a little more white, okay? And I actually have a little more white there on my disposal palette, because it's just not, I know it's not bright enough. You can see it now, it's not bright enough for that little area there. So I'm just putting out some more white quickly, and let's see it, okay? Now, all these paintings are doable paintings. You know, this is why I'm doing these. I'm not like painting the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel for you to explore. I'm painting paintings that you will be able to explore and enjoy and have fun with. We'll do the Sistine Chapel next week, okay? Now here you go, and then the Mona Lisa after that. Okay, this is it. See the way it's, yeah, I need that brightness. I'm just going over the brush strokes that I already applied, okay? Okay, and you're respecting that line there, the contour of the top of the mountain, because you want it irregular, as I keep saying. And you can see now already the way the sky is coming together properly, can't you? Okay, that's good to hear. Now, and of course at this stage you could actually stop for a cup of tea or coffee or glass of wine, whatever you like, because, you know, you can see that you're getting somewhere. But if you're not even, you know, take your time. That's what I keep saying to everyone. There's no need to be rushing anything here. Just adding a tiny bit more white to it there again. And it's just as if the sun has just gone down or the sun is about to come up. I don't know. Use your imagination. By the way, this is purely from my imagination, this landscape, because as I said, it was to explore this colour with as a base colour. Now I think we've enough white there, okay? I'm going to clean my brush again, because I actually have another colour ready for you to move straight onto. I actually have the light green permanent here, okay? Excuse me, your light green permanent, yeah. Now, it's lovely, isn't it? It's a beautiful colour. And I'm back to a Kiko's brush, okay? And because it's a very small area that we're going to be working in down here, get a nice consistency, which we have there. Twist the brush as well. You know, when you go in straight like that, it's going to be splayed out everywhere and pick up too much paint. So if you twist it and pick up a small bit of paint, you have a much more precise amount on it, you know. So we're going to start, we're going to start with this green area. And remember, what I'll do is I'll actually put in that line as well to remind me as well. We're going to have a loose line going around the base of the mountain, okay, like this, you know, to respect that border of magenta. We don't want to lose that border of magenta. Like if you do lose it in certain areas, you can actually paint it back in, you know, there's no big deal. Now with the house as well, we're going to have a little border around that, the cottages, just to remind us it's a no-go area, okay? Just a little line, little border like that with the white pastel all the way, and then down to where the furrows are, a little border as well. Now you can see how tiny that area is, but let's go for it, okay? And we're doing our hop, skip and jump again. Very irregular, and we're leaving those lovely gaps. The nature of this color is transparent, it's not opaque. So what you'll have to do is, when you put on one coat, you go back again when it dries, and you put on a second coat. Okay, now do you see the way I'm making it very irregular at the top, and I'm remembering that the little areas around the cottage walls as well, because we want those delineations of magenta just to shine through, and they'll make a huge difference. When you finish your painting, you'll see it and you'll step back and you'll say, oh wow, now I see what he means by the simultaneous contrast. Okay, we're going all the way down here. I'm doing this now just to show you the brush. Look, it's like if you're using your big brush, just go over it, but do the same sort of brush stroke, irregular, if you have a big canvas, that is. Now what I'll do is as well, when I finish this line here, I'm going to show you, well, I won't actually know. What I'll do is I will switch it off and then I'll do a second coat on it, because it could be extremely boring watching me doing a second coat of green. And then when I come back to you, that'll be the green finished, and you'll know that that's part of the process that you have to do it. Can you see it coming through again on this colour? Yeah, lovely. Get down into that irregular line there, because we don't want anything regular. We don't want any straight lines. Okay, so we're going to leave it at that for the moment, and then I'll get back to you as soon as I have the second coat on. Okay.